Welcome to the Ascent Tournament Series mainstream, everyone. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'm Spuddy FC. You're joining us for the Solace Path Phoenix Cup Round of 12. The final bracket is here, and the best of the best are now ready to compete. The action's been long. We've been here for a good couple months at it, but now it's finally time to start determining who really does want it the most. Here's what our bracket looks like right now. 12 teams remain. 4 of them have already guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinals found February 1st, so for all of you wanting to see the final bracket, it will be here February 1st on this channel. February 1st, the day of the top 8, but for 8 teams, only 4 spots remains. You win and you get in, you lose and your run ends just like that. It's single elimination now. There is no more places to hide. So for the top 8, or what will be the top 8, this is it. For the top 12, you've got some rounds to win. For anyone in the top 8, they have to win 3 rounds to take the whole thing. Anyone in the top 12, in the round of 12 here, the play-in round, they will have to win 4 times in a row to make it through. Someone's going to win this championship. But right now, the question for the top 12, or the 8 teams that are in the top 12 that haven't made the top 8 just yet, it's can you make it to the quarterfinals? Can you make it to February 1st? Can only half those teams will even see themselves with a shot in the final push. But tonight we get one of those matches. They're all best of 7s, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that, but they're all best of 7s. This is it for these teams: Mafia, Vendetta, and Váli, Eclipse. Midwest Mafia versus Váli Esports in a top 12 matchup. Again, for these teams, this is it. Final bracket, win and move on, lose and be out. The nice thing about these round of 12 matches is that you get to schedule them on your own schedule, so you're not really put under any major time constraints as you will be in the top 8. Again, which will be February 1st, the Sunday, not this week, but the week after. The pressure is on for Váli Eclipse to perform as you would expect them to. We'll see how things go for them, but for now, Váli Eclipse definitely have got their work cut out for them. Again, against a very strong Mafia Vendetta roster. We'll see how things progress, but I'm looking forward to what we're going to get to see here. For ATS in its final season, there's only again 2 divisions left. Phoenix Cup. The other one obviously is the Solace Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup. That is also in its round of 12 right now as we speak. I'm really looking forward to what we're going to get to see here as well. And again, I'm looking forward to, again, what these 2 teams have to offer for Mafia Vendetta and Váli Eclipse. Mafia Vendetta, much easier bracket for them. 5-1 through the regular season, literally behind Oblivion Esports, who themselves are the #1 overall seed in this bracket. So a lot of people expect good things out of Mafia Vendetta, and to be fair, a 5-1 record is pretty good for them. As for the winner of this match, they'll be playing against Boost in the top 8. For Váli, not as easy for themselves. 3-3 for the regular season, not a great regular season for them in a Group B that is turning out to likely be I think many would consider the weaker of the 2 groups. Well, sorry, one of the weaker of the groups, maybe the... Well, I would say they only have 1 team actually from Group B that has made it into the top 8 already. Oblivion dealing out of Group A. You have 2 teams from Group C, which proven to be a pretty solid group in their own right. Again, for Váli Eclipse, 3-3, not a great run for them. But the benefit for them is, even though they had to play in Group B of the top 16, the much tougher of the 2 groups in that if you lose, you're out. Again, for Váli Vendetta, they were in Group A. They didn't have to worry too much. There was no real questions for them. Even if they didn't make it through the group, they would guarantee a spot in the top 12. They did go 0-2 in that group. They lost to both Boost and KCG Akuma. Akuma themselves also right now in the play-ins, playing against Gryffindor D-Phase. So for Vendetta, while their regular season was great, recently, in the last couple of weeks, they have definitely struggled against top competitors. They played well against Boost. They took them to Game 7, but Akuma was a much different series for them. 4-1 loss to an Akuma team that, realistically, I think you need to be beating if you want to win this tournament. Simply put, for Vendetta, they've been marked by a lack of scoring in that match against Akuma. We're only able to score a total of 12 goals, it seems to be, which seems like a lot in 5 games, but reminder, that's only a little over 2 goals per game. You compare that to what Akuma did. They scored a total of 14, and they actually did a pretty good job at spreading it around. For Vendetta, of again their 12 goals, half of them were in only one of their games. So for Vendetta, simply put, this is a team that seems to have issues with their offense right now. It's definitely not something you want to rely on. That's definitely not something that you want to rely on having an issue with here at this point in your season. For Váli Eclipse, again, they went out the group. They went 2-0 through the group, beating Spartan Coast and then Gryffindor D-Phase. The D-Phase team, which, reminder, is in the top 12. They're playing against KCG Akuma. So for Mafia Vendetta, definitely the pressure's on them. This is a team that has had a lot of issues so far, and their offense has definitely been a major factor to why this team has struggled as much as they have up to this point. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how things will turn around for them. If they do, as we'll get things underway. Right, the tactical timeouts are in play as well at this point in your season, so that is something that these teams will at least be, I'm sure, focusing on at least in some way, especially if things don't go well. They'll definitely be looking to perform well. As for Mafia Vendetta, Váli Eclipse, they're both in the lobby. Of the 6 players on the lobby here, which is Inertia, Leopard, and inside the running roster for Mafia Vendetta, for Váli Eclipse, it's Byro, Genie, and Mochi, which are 3 of their top players. Only one of these players has actually won a championship in the past. That's actually Zane Star of Mafia Vendetta, who won it just this season. He won the solo series for the Catalyst Cup, taking a big win there. I think it was a 4-1 victory over Leopard Mode. So, for Mafia Vendetta, at least for Zane Star, he's at least got a championship this season, but this is the one that he's really been looking for. He wants to win, he wants to be that top player, he wants to be a top performer. Now's where you really need to show that you have what it takes. But for Mafia Vendetta, at least for now, definitely a good amount of questions on if this team has what it takes in playoffs to do what they need to do. And a 5-1 record to the regular season, only behind Oblivion Esports. That's a very good record, by the way. You have the only team that you lost in the regular season be Oblivion, but playoffs is a whole different beast. These teams get a whole lot to suffer, and Mafia Vendetta right now having a whole lot more issues, even getting out of their own half right now. Váli Eclipse taking them down for a team, again, that won out through Group B. You'd think they'd come in with a ton of firepower. I mean, having just won out your group against the Mafia Vendetta team that hasn't had a win yet in the postseason. Váli Eclipse looking for more. Will get that clear to Byro. Long touch blocked by Zane Star to the corner. Will have room as he'll be first challenged, now leaving it for Leopard Mode. And he's gonna clear this one. There's nobody back. This one is off the post and out. Well, it was a great idea from Leopard Mode, and everybody from Váli was caught staring. And a perfect chance to get a goal there for Mafia Vendetta. Long-time roster, at least in terms of name. These players have shifted around constantly at times. A couple names have stayed consistent, like Leopard Mode, Inertia. Their sub in, well, he used to go by Jupiter. Váli Eclipse, a new team, part of a new organization this season in the SM Tournament Series. Trying to get their org's debut in the only season that they'll be competing in. Reminder that being the last season, there's a little extra on these championships for these teams, knowing that, you know, to be an ATS champion, you only get your, only get one more chance at it, and everybody wants to be champion, but again, there's only a few select spots that will be open. Now, the championships, again, coming up on February 1st. Váli Eclipse under the pressure to perform. We'll have to clear this one with Byro. Mochi, played by Inertia, will be met by Zane Star as a play off the back wall. It's going to be Leopard Mode. Byro to clear. He'll take a little bit of room with this thing. Challenged by Zanestar. Mochi. Infield for Inertia. Genie. We'll get the kick up as now Zanestar jumping in. Here goes Leopard mode. Byro. Mochi. Play to the back wall by Zanestar. Mafia Vendetta. Still no goals this game. Again, a consistent issue for them here in the postseason is that they have not been able to score often, but here's a big breakaway chance. Inertia with some room. Off the back wall. Double tap. It's off the post. And it will be cleared away by Váli Eclipse. A big chance for Inertia and a big chance that will go asking. And Váli not done here. May look for number 2. It's Genie who can't tuck it under the crossbar. Byro keeps things moving. As a 1-0 scoreline holds the lead for Váli. Genie with a wide open net. It is Váli Eclipse who make it 2-0. As a demo from Byro. Now he gets the bump on Zanestar. Everything for Váli Eclipse. Well, it isn't working perfectly, but it is clicking for them. That's more than what Mafia Vendetta can say. And in Game 1, the Group B side, proving that they can punch a little bit above their own weight class right now. You know, for everybody that played in Group B, they were playing in the 9 to 16th seed range. Everybody in Group A, including Mafia Vendetta, in the 1 to 8 range, so you can maybe have a little bit... You can maybe be a little bit nicer to those losses for Mafia Vendetta, considering just how good the teams that they have to play against are. But Váli Eclipse, again, playing against, in theory, easier opponents. Sure has a lot to prove that they deserve to be in the top 8 spot, that, you know, their weak regular season starts will not define this team's playoff hopes. Again, 3-3 in their own group. Definitely not the kind of record you want to have going in the playoffs, but Váli Eclipse have done well to put it behind them here. The regular season only matters so much for you, and at this point it doesn't matter at all. Now it's about getting wins, proving what you are, proving what you're worth, and laying everything out on the field. And Váli Eclipse so far have done just that, and are going to look to do a little bit more to make it 3-0. Byro with an open chance. It will be deflected, but not out of the net. A 3-goal lead for Váli Eclipse in Game 1. And Mafia Vendetta continuing to prove their offense really has been an issue. That's something that I've noticed about Leopard mode especially, but Zanestar too, and even Inertia at times are all rather defensively posturing players, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are great teams out there that have defensive posturing players, but it does lead you to this issue. If you don't have someone who's willing to shift to a more offense-centric role, you start to leave yourself in these positions where you just don't have someone who can score goals. And in playoffs, scoring goals really matters. As time will run out here, Váli Eclipse will win out Game 1. 4-0 to start the series. And yeah, a solid performance. Váli Eclipse proving that, well, this will be a solid team to watch today. And maybe, who knows, for the rest of this playoff bracket, if they're able to keep these wins going. A reminder that tactical timeouts are in play. Wouldn't expect any to be used after Game 1, but this is definitely a Mafia Vendetta team that, at least from the players that I see, shouldn't be too scared to use one. Well, for now, it is Game 1. And I'm definitely worried about the input that Leopard Mode's going to have in the series. He's definitely someone who I don't know necessarily for being nervous, but he has had issues in the past of consistency on previous teams. I worry if his consistency is not there. That is a crucial player for this Mafia Vendetta team. I mean, you're talking about basically I would say not necessarily the central structure, and everybody on this team can play that kind of role. But you need someone to have that offense. Realistically, I think if someone needs to do it, it has to be Zanestar. But right now, he's so preoccupied with playing the midfield that you don't have the offense there with it. I want to see Zanestar play that offensive role. We saw what he did in his Catalyst Cup Soul Series victory. He can play offense. This is a guy who can shoot. And I think if there's anyone who can elevate to the midfield-based role, it would be Leopard Mode. That's the kind of role he likes to play. I think right now, though, he's playing more defensive than anything else. He's playing a little further back. And it's just not effective right now. Váli Eclipse proving that this is a team that's got a pretty simple structure. They're not doing anything crazy. But they are taking advantage of the fact that in playoffs, this team doesn't seem to be as nervous. As an early block, with the follow will be off the crossbar, saved away by inertia. Genie, just going to slow things down, look for someone to follow. Leopard with a clear. That one will have Zanestar all over it. Infield pass will be straight to Byro, who will leave things for Genie. Cleared away. Off the back wall. This one will bounce off the bar. Byro! Blocked by inertia. Big save on the goal line here for Mafia Vendetta. Still not out of it, though, as Eclipse keeps the move going. Mochi pinched away by a little bit of a play there from Genie. Zanestar jumping in as well. Byro through inertia. Now past Leopard. We'll have room to work as Váli Eclipse. Infield, no one there. A missed touch on the pass and immediately cleared away. Mafia Vendetta just not holding on to the ball right now. A lot of heavy clears, but not a lot of control that results out of it. And that means Váli Eclipse being allowed to come right back to offense as they wish. There's an infield pass. Inertia bumped out as well. Váli not really looking to play in front of the net all too often. A lot of passing, but a lot of nobody in front of the net. If I'm Mafia Vendetta, if you continue to cut up those passes, if you continue to limit Váli Eclipse's options on making those passes, that offense seems to be struggling a little bit more. Off the back wall, Leopard to clear. Will be Genie. Now Byro. Mochi. Nobody up right now for Mafia. This is a scary sight. That one just a little high. Zanestar 1-on-1. He's 2-on-2. This one pinched into the bottom left. The Solo Series champion does it himself. Considering he beat Leopard Mode to get that championship, he's the real deal, all right. Definitely the last guy you'd want on the ball 1-on-1. If you're Váli Eclipse. And now for the first time tonight, they have a deficit, and it's going to be increased. Zanestar makes it 2. Well, it's only gotten worse here for Váli. Wow, look at how high up Genie's gone here. Completely in no man's land. That is, unfortunately for Genie, that is completely on them. You don't leave the net. That's a premature play there. They should always be sticking to the net. You never leave the net with the plays in the corner like that, just because if the 50's lost, you want to make sure you're there to guard any play that goes towards your goal. Got a bit overconfidence, a bit carried away, and Váli Eclipse now will need to get a goal back. They might do just that. Genie will let this one roll in. It was not a great shot from Genie, but it will do the trick. Zanestar at the save, but not a particularly great one. Still 2 minutes to go. Still a good amount to play for. Couple demos. Mochi. Gonna get rid of Leopard as well. Zanestar with some room. Byro. Now in goes Leopard. He'll play the corner. Mochi again. Inertia very slow to that one, so no play on it for Mafia Vendetta. Zanestar and Inertia both getting tangled up. This is a great place for Genie to go. They're going to try to wreck things through. Byro off the back. It's in front of the net. Everybody's jumping in for Mafia Vendetta. Low boost now for Midwest Mafia. And Mochi's going to look to take advantage. In front, Leopard clears. It's Genie who will meet this one in the air. Mochi sends it back. High fly ball will be for Inertia. It's a great pass to Zanestar. Back to Inertia. Too far from the net. Mochi will get there. And now Byro, in theory, will have the clear. No, Mochi's going to take this one instead. I would have liked to see Byro have the one. They had the boost in that position. They knew that they didn't have to rush anything. Now another touch. This one will be from Pyro. Mochi. Oh, pass 2. Still Mochi. Zanestar's beat. Lepid will get there. And Váli Eclipse only 1 goal this game. Mafia Vendetta has done a better job at scoring, but this is still very doable if you're Váli Eclipse. As now they'll do some interesting looking passing that goes nowhere. And now Zanestar, with a little bit of room, will be Mochi to keep this one away. Inertia, that's a bad touch! It's gonna be blocked as well. They make amends for their mistake, but that could have been the tie right there. Váli is desperate to find one more. They may not get it here as a shot off the crossbar. And Váli Eclipse will need to get one last chance in regulation. Oh, not really in the right page here. Infield pass. It's left up by Pyro. Mochi. Who wants it? Lepid will hold. He'll hold. And we'll let the game end right there. A tied series. A 1-1 even score line, and Mafia Vendetta finding a lot more on their offense. 7 shots, but again, Zanestar feels like he's doing all the work upfield right now. He's the guy you want on offense, I think, if you're Mafia Vendetta. But again, I think if this team really wants to excel in offense, you gotta get someone else there to do the job. Lepid Mode definitely wanted to do it. He definitely wanted to play that kind of role. Just didn't feel like he did enough for them. And when your team is this one-dimensional on offense, when it's only one person doing jobs, your opponents generally start to recognize when one person is doing all the offensive work. Váli Eclipse, I would not be surprised if they really put a target on Zanestar next game. Limit that out of Mafia Vendetta, and take these wins. Their offense hasn't been exceptional either this series, but I think they've done a better job at least mixing up of who takes the shots, who takes these efforts. One thing I'd like to see more from them, though, is a little bit more communication. They didn't have enough. They had a ton of passes. I like the infield passing idea, but you need to, if you're going to do infield passes, you got to have someone infield. They didn't have anybody in front of that when they went those passes, meaning that pass really was completely unnecessary. They can mix in some passes if they can get people upfield and put a little bit more pressure on the Mafia Vendetta backline. I think Váli Eclipse have what it takes. They've definitely proven in these first 2 games. As for Mafia Vendetta, just have to see if anyone else will step up to the plate. Mochi. For Váli Eclipse, cleared back by Zanestar. Here comes Genie. That one is wide. Inertia didn't even have to jump for it. And now Váli, wait a second. Byro, he's just laid this one up for Lepid Mode. That is a horrible touch for Byro. And all he can do is watch in absolute disgust. Maybe the worst touch you could have in that position is one laid right off the back wall for Lepid. You don't blame him for going. That's definitely a position where I think a lot of players would go. He just doesn't have the touch there. Didn't get up fast enough. And honestly, if he leaves that play, it goes to the back corner. It's still not in a perfect place to be. I think just a bit slow from Váli Eclipse on that reaction, but that's going to result in a goal for Mafia Vendetta. As they're going to let the offense continue here, Mafia again with the early lead in a game. As Zanestar looking to make it 2, will be Pyro to be there. Lepid to make it 2-0. Stopped by Mochi, Genie, chased by Inertia. Very high push here for Mafia Vendetta, but to be fair, it's working for them. And Lepid, who has been quiet for the most part of this series, finding his voice in DFH Stadium. It is now 2-0 for Mafia Vendetta. And after a game 1 that definitely showed what this team has been struggling in, they've been able to patch up the holes here in games 2 and now 3. This game's not done yet, but Mafia Vendetta, I think, are giving Mafia fans some real reason to be excited. Again, this is a team that really was looking like a finals contender not too long ago. They've definitely need to regain that sort of positioning, but again, a huge victory here can help them to that as Lepid again with a double tap. This one is beautiful, though, as it skies right over Genie. And it's 3-0. And Mafia Vendetta, not done. Now looking for another one. But a hat-trick for Lepid already this game. And for Váli Eclipse, they're focusing on the offense from Zanestar. Now you gotta be worried about multiple weapons on offense. Zanestar's had his moments. Now Lepid with his own. Inertia's done a good job at least getting things started. And now Zanestar again. Boy, this game has gotten a whole lot worse for Váli Eclipse. Definitely the best that Mafia Vendetta have looked all night. Maybe they just needed a warm-up. Maybe that's why Game 1 was so bad for them, but this Game 3 is looking like the Váli Eclipse that I'm sure people were expecting to see in playoffs, the team that was able to do so well in the first part of the season. That, though, is a bit of a misread and an easy goal for Byro. One goal back for Váli. Mafia Vendetta can't get too overconfident. As Inertia, blocked by Byro, will now be Lepin. He's going to take a very high first touch. Zanestar. Well, not enough height on it to fool Váli Eclipse. But right now for Váli, really not showing much up on the blue half of the field. Byro's got to get to this one. But he can only go so far. It's Zanestar now. Mochi. Byro. Lepid mode. Zanestar. Byro. Through one. He'll chase this thing through as now the bump on Lepid. Zanestar. It's a good bounce. Will help out for Mochi. Byro. Back wall. Byro still. Lepid mode. In goes a shot and it's perfectly placed. Top left corner. And Mochi. And Váli Eclipse pulling themselves up again. Well, that's going to get a little bit more excitement in the Váli Esports comms. They've got a real shot at this. I mean, they were 4-0 down. This is a lot better for them. Still a very tough lead to come back from. The Váli Eclipse are at least 2 goals closer. And they're making good on time. Cleared away by Lepid. Byro. Looking to sort of play things slowly. Gets through one. Now he's going to get the bump on Zanestar. Won't do that. And here he goes the other way. Bumps out of the way. Mochi. Through Inertia. It's 3-on-1 right now. And Lepid being chased. High flick off the crossbar. Well, it was expertly played by Váli. You like the bump ahead, you like the shot that they elected. Just a bit too much on it. And now time's becoming a problem. Only a minute to go in this game and Váli Eclipse need 2 goals in this span. High touch for Byro. Mochi. Zanestar. Byro. Genie, it's open! It's 3 goals for Váli Eclipse! They're 1 behind! Expert placement for Genie, knew exactly where that was going. What I like is that Mochi was there every step of the way. That's the sort of confidence that is so often can be an issue for teams, because you can so easily misplace your confidence. But Váli Eclipse are using it well. It will get them a goal there. Now only 1 away. Byro. Through Lepid. Still Byro moving. He'll be bumped into this thing. Zanestar. Pushing for Váli, but they'll go back once more. Byro. He's in front of his net here. He's going to find Mochi. This one, actually a fake play for Genie. Off the corner. Genie still. Mochi! 4 goals straight! And Váli Eclipse dismantle the lead of Mafia Vendetta. 3 seconds now. A fake kickoff. Mafia Vendetta looking for one last opportunity. Zane Star in front. This one off the post and out. It stays away from the nets. We have overtime. Boy, what a rush of excitement now for Váli Esports. 4 goals down. They've made a comeback. Now can they complete it? Genie. Bumped out. Won't have a shot. Byro. Cleared back. Inertia. There it is. Nobody up for Mafia. This is a free touch. Looking for Mochi. He'll leave it high. Inertia jumped on by Genie. Byro gets in the way. Here goes Mochi again. Already has 3 goals for Váli. Looking for more. Infield. Byro won't get there fast enough. And a Váli Eclipse team that is still in the face of their opponents. Lepid chased down by 2. Zane Star has this as Byro. Oh, he maybe leave this one, left this one back. It's off the crossbar. Mafia again, sent away by Mochi. Oh, and a mistouch. Zane Star will leave it for Lepid mode. Little scariness there. But Mafia Vendetta have dealt with a couple scares this game already. They have not dealt with all of them very well, though. Genie. Oh, he's ran out of boost there. He's going to be slow back. Eclipse will play 2-on-3 for a while. Off the back. Mochi again. Oh, he's hit it wide. Boy, has he been scary in this last half of the game. And after what was an excellent start for Lepid mode, the best start Mafia Vendetta have had, will it all be for nothing? Their offense hasn't been the issue here, it's their defense. And maybe the pressure that's gotten to them. Teams don't generally lose these kind of leads often, but Mafia Vendetta just could not seem to get it together after that second goal. They really started to fall apart. And now, Mochi for Váli Eclipse. Oh, he's lost this one to Lepid. It's a beautiful pass! It's a beautiful goal! Mafia Vendetta escape game 3. They really are to work for this one, but the comeback from Váli Eclipse will not matter. And this series continues. 2-1 up for Mafia Vendetta. I don't know what to say anymore about that, but that was a pretty exciting game for what was been a relatively slow-moving series. That really saw the pace pick up a little bit more. But I think realistically, Váli Eclipse, you can't be too upset with that. Sure, you didn't get the win that you were looking for. Sure, that comeback will be for nothing. But you've proven yourself so well here. Mochi with 3 goals and 6 saves. Mochi is everywhere right now. They are getting things done for Váli Eclipse. Now, can they just keep the offense more consistent? Can they start the game off well? Mafia Vendetta, an advantage they'd like to keep. For Váli Eclipse, a very doable proposition. All you really need to do if you're Váli, just get this game, even up the series, and put the pressure on Mafia Vendetta. Clearly that the pressure has at sometimes seemed to be their downfall. If you make them think they might lose, they definitely start to play worse. Start to turtle up, start to go into that passivity that didn't help them earlier in the series. Teams that do well in playoffs are generally not passive as Ainstar trying to get things started. That was a touch off the ceiling. Now it's Mochi. We'll let Genie have this one. Mochi again. Shots on. Had the power, but not the placements. An easy save for Ainstar. Now he's got to make another one. And he will. Oh, double hit for Mafia. Byro to Mochi. Oh, what a pass! Beautiful! Oh, it's hit the post! Follow save! It's Mochi! And Lepid deflects it wide. I loved what I saw from Mochi there. I don't know what happened to Mochi. They've just turned another gear here. Another pass! This one won't miss! Last shot may have seen iron. This one will see the back of the net. Mochi again in the middle of it. I don't know what it is with Mochi, but every touch they're making right now just seems to be perfect. They are carrying this Váli Eclipse team through this series right now. And to be fair, if you're Váli Eclipse, I wouldn't be too unhappy about that thing. You've got a hot hand, you've got a player who's clearly playing exceptionally well, you use it! It's playoffs, who cares about how you get these wins? Just get them! As Mafia Vendetta, oh what a save! Pyro recognized inertia, now they'll go again, but inertia hits it wide, it's Pyro who removes the danger. And here goes Mochi. Corner. And out. For Mafia Vendetta, last 2 games, they were able to start with 1-goal leads. Remember that in game 1, they didn't have that exact luxury either, and like they don't have in this game. And well, you can tell it's a whole new ball game now. Váli Eclipse a lot more comfortable after having dropped 2 straight. They're poised to finally get another win this series and put themselves closer to the top 8 to the quarterfinals. With elimination on the line, must-win matchups. Pyro. Oh, Zanestar getting chipped along the way. Mochi. Inertia. Pyro to Genie. Oh, and this one almost fell in. Mafia Vendetta got a bit tied up. They'll handle it here, and look at how high up they all are. I think they recognize that, you know, at this point you have to start playing proactively. You've got to be willing to take those chances. Playing up that high, not a bad idea, as now Váli Eclipse taking their own chances. This one will backfire, though, and Mafia Vendetta, in desperate need of a goal, will get one easily. Everybody up, nobody back. Mochi, with a bit of a misstep for the first time tonight. And Pyro, who probably shouldn't have gone for that pass to begin with. And Mafia Vendetta will look for one more this game. Zanestar. Genie now. With room to move and play this as inertia. Stopped. Zanestar to clear. Pyro will be chased down, but it's leopard mode. Ooh, he's actually got a good touch on this too. As inertia, oh, it's pinched back. And with a minute to go now, Váli Eclipse looking for one more! It's on the line! And it's up by 2 again! Váli Eclipse on the back of Mochi! What more could you ask for of a player? Mochi is doing it all! Again, remind you, he had 6 saves last game, along with his 3 goals. Mochi on an absolute tear. 3 assists so far, 2 saves to add to it. With countless thankless opportunities. And boy, Mochi has just not missed that often, has he? When it comes to making the right plays. Mafia Vendetta are really gotta be scared now. And Váli Eclipse are back with a vengeance. And Mochi leading the charge through game 4. Inertia will whiff. Mochi is going to take one more. Because at this point, Mafia Vendetta will accept defeat in game 4. A tied series after 4 games, and still we're guaranteed more. Neo Tokyo at least for tonight. But what do these players have in store? Genie. It's not by inertia. Mochi to jump in. Byro. Gonna keep things up. We'll flick it ahead. Oh, a team bump, but at this point for Váli Eclipse, they don't really mind if Mafia Vendetta make more mistakes. Because this game is over. They're going to Game 5 and with a whole lot of confidence. That was a classy performance for them. I mean, that is just exactly what you want. And now with Game 5 not too far ahead of us. Well, everything. Resting the balance, those tactical timeouts still not being used by either team. They both still have it. Meaning that if we were to get to see one used, it's going to be late in the series. For now, though, let's get things moving again. Game 5. Match point on the line. Reminder, elimination on the line now. All to play for and everything to lose. Top 8 rests in the balance. And boy, your chances really do go up if you can win this game. Váli Eclipse, who never had the opportunity to qualify for top 8 through the final bracket qualifier. Now with their chance here against Mafia Vendetta. Byro, blocked by Leopard mode. Will be Mochi, who goes airborne. Denies Zanestar. Inertia. It's Genie, devil ahead! A full team effort! And Mafia Vendetta stunned! They can't believe it! For a team that came second in their group, you can't argue that Group A wasn't a solid group, but man, Váli Eclipse proving that their struggles in the regular season, I mean, part of it might have been the fact that the group they're in, but to be fair, this is a team that is playoff ready right now. They're putting it together, they're getting it done, they've got the teamwork. And they're really looking scary right now as Zanestar scary the other way. Too much room given by Váli Eclipse. Genie got bumped, Mochi should have gone earlier. And that will make things all too easy for who I think has been playing the best so far tonight on Mafia Vendetta. He's definitely been the most noticeable player on this Mafia team, as off the back wall will be Leopard. Byro. We'll play this one. It's Leopard! It is 2-1. Hasn't won since ATS Season... Well, he hasn't won since he joined in ATS Season 1. He hasn't had a single championship. Zanestar on this roster. I didn't have one since he started playing since Season 3 until now in the solo series. Inertia has been here, I think, just as long as Leopard has, so... Talking about players who... No, sorry, Inertia I think actually has had a championship. He had one this season. I believe he's the coach for Midwest Mafia Henchmen, who obviously just won the Catalyst Cup earlier this season. But for Leopard, at least a long-time player, he's had numerous chances to take championships. He's just never been able to really do it. You would hate to have this season, his last season, be one where he gets so close in the Catalyst Cup, can't get the win there, and now in the Soul Series Catalyst Cup, and now battling in this final bracket, lose it out here. Mafia Vendetta have a lot to play for. Byro. That is to nobody in particular. Váli Eclipse will bump them out, and with room to work with, it's Mochi. Leopard. Bouncing ball, it's Byro. Inertia! Oh, he's hit the post, it stays cleared away. And now Inertia again. Mochi. Zanestar. Mochi. Genie on the demo. Now Byro. High first touch. Mochi in. Inertia. Telepid mode. They'll keep things going as Mochi again. And now a shot. 4-1. Zanestar with his second of the game. And just like that, Mafia Vendetta have proven last game will not matter to them. This team's still alive and kicking. They're still here. And they're still giving it all. Well, Eclipse will chase it down as up the back wall. It's Inertia. Now Leopard. Genie. Mochi. Oh, he missed it! Inertia! And it's getting worse for Váli Eclipse. I mean, they had a 4-goal comeback earlier this game, earlier this series that they couldn't win the game on, but that was with a lot more time. That was with, I think, well over 3 minutes left. They only have 2 minutes here. They're down by 4. At this point, for Váli Eclipse, it's about getting your mental straight for Game 6. This series isn't done. You're not out of it. But you have Game 6 ahead of you. A must-win Game 6 at this point, you have to think, for Váli Eclipse. Considering that I don't think they're going to come back this game. I think realistically I need to see a Váli Eclipse team that is able to have a strong last half of the game, pull through, pull this team together, get a strong last half of the game, show us that you have some fight still in you. Because, I mean, Mafia Vendetta have it, they're going to bring it in Game 6. You have to think realistically that's the game they're going to put everything in to win. Right now, if you're Váli Eclipse, it just feels like they've laid down and died here on Aquadome. And Mafia Vendetta walking all over them as we speak. One minute to go. And at this point, I don't think Váli Eclipse is... I don't think Mafia Vendetta or Váli Eclipse is questioning what the scoreline is going to be at the end of this game. But again, for Váli Eclipse, now I question, do they have any fight left in them here? The series isn't lost, the round isn't over. But their playoff chance rests on them winning Game 6 and Game 7. And bringing the series to its absolute distance. Genie. Everybody up for Váli, but nobody home. Mafia Vendetta makes it 7-1. At this point, you feel like it's rubbing salt in the wounds. They don't need to score anymore. Well, this is a well-needed return to form. And I will say, credits to Mafia Vendetta. The offense hasn't looked nearly as bad as it seemed to look in their matches in the final bracket qualifier. You can maybe credit that to playing against the Váli Eclipse team that maybe isn't as good defensively as some of the other teams that they played against in their final bracket qualifier, but still, this is a team that deserves that top 12 placement they got. This is a team that proves that they are here for a reason. And while they will, find one more. I mean, this is a Game 6 that they'll need to win. Mafia Vendetta. One more 0 seconds, but they won't have it. Mafia Vendetta will, though, take match point, a huge advantage for them here. Meaning that the winner of this takes on Boost in the next round. Boost, who were the 3rd seed out of Group C, with his number 1 seed also in the final qualifier. They're playing against Crossfire in the round of 12. RAP Performance also here. They're also in the quarterfinals as well. And for this Váli Eclipse team, clearly part of a tough group through the most part of the regular season. I don't think I've actually mentioned just how tough their group actually has been. But in their group is, by the way, first of all, their group is the one that had 16 make it to the final bracket qualifier rather than just 5 like everybody else. Of those 6 teams, 5 of them are in the top 12. Now, only one of them's in the top 8 guaranteed, but Váli Eclipse would like to add themselves to that list. They'll need to win 2 games to get there. For now, though, this is Game 6. And Váli Eclipse must win to keep their season alive. What do they have in them? Well, right now, they'll need to get a goal. Last game was an absolute blowout. And Váli Eclipse, I think by the end of it, just sort of gave up. I need to see that energy from them. We didn't see it last game. That energy that this team has had for the majority of the last half of this series. Where's that energy? Where's that drive? Where's that want to win this thing? Well, the Eclipse might be asking themselves the same question. I hope they aren't. I hope they've already found it. Because if they don't, this could be a very lackluster end of their season. Mochi. Can't find the clear. Inertia. Ooh, a little bit of an awkward play there. Byro will jump in. Zanestar. Mochi. Genie. Inertia. To Mochi. Off the corner it is. Ooh, it's a bit of a weird play. But here goes Mochi again. Off the post. Oh, I love it. Mochi plays it. And even Zanestar respecting a very tough shot because he's in traffic there. There's a couple defenders around him. Not an easy place to get a shot off. He's under pressure, but he still finds his opportunity. And Váli Eclipse, definitely a well-deserved first goal of the game. Now they'll add a little bit more to that. Mochi finds Genie. Genie finds Byro! Well, he may not get an assist for this play. It's again Mochi who sets this thing up. That pass to Genie could not have been much better. And Váli Eclipse are off to the races in Game 6. By the way, no technical timeout call from them after Game 5. I mean, they have looked good. They clearly didn't think they needed much of a reset after Game 5. Or maybe they had enough, more than enough of it. Well, they didn't need a longer one, that's for certain. Right back to their high-scoring selves, and they're going to look to make it worse because Mochi has a 2-for-2 shooting record in this game right now. But again, that's the easy part of this. Byro and his upward are actually finding him in between all the Mafia Vendetta defenders. And Váli Eclipse. I'm sure now are looking just to hold the lead as it is. Maybe even add a little bit more. Mochi starts offense. He'll stay on it too, as he'll win the boost out of this play. Byro forces the play from Zanestar. Mochi again. He's going to chase down Zanestar across the net, so that'll leave them a little bit more vulnerable here. Váli Eclipse are sitting a little further back, though. They weren't feeling comfortable in that play, and for good reason. But they'll keep moving. Genie got taken out. As here goes Byro. Lip reset. Not able to have it. Mochi. Byro. This one saved away. Genie will keep it in the air. It's Zanestar to follow to Mochi. Oh, they miss! Inertia! Leopard mode. Not the touch he was looking for, but this one sent out as Inertia. Demo! Genie's got to that one. And just in time as well. Leopard. Kept away. Genie. Pyro. To Genie. Leopard. Mochi. Zanestar. Up in the air for Inertia. Oh, he's completely whipped on this one. Room for Genie, but they won't have the boost for it. Off the back wall, Mafia Vendetta have had control for the last 30 seconds, and they'll make good use of it. As A-Star off the pass from Leopard mode sends it. And the Solace Path Phoenix Cup round of 12, at least for now, has begun with quite the fun series, and it still feels like Mafia Vendetta can pull this thing back. We saw Eclipse do 2 goals in a minute earlier this game. Sorry, earlier this series, not this game. Oh, we'll see if Mafia Vendetta can do that here to get the win. Or if this series will go to Champions Field. As it will be Inertia. Ooh, doesn't have this one. Zanestar, Inertia. Just keeping it across will be Pyro up next. Heavy touch on the field will be met by Leopard. Zanestar clears. Demo. A couple demos for from Váli Eclipse players. Make things a little bit tougher for Mafia Vendetta. In fact, it's going to make things a whole lot tougher. Now they're reaching, and they won't get back in time. Well, Mochi may have just secured Game 7. "28 seconds. Váli Eclipse have had their tumultuous games. I mean, last game was tumultuous. It was 7-2, mind you, for Mafia Vendetta. And yet the inconsistencies in their offense shows, but for Váli Eclipse, I don't know what it is with these teams. They both seem to be inconsistent at different times and in different ways. What I can say, though, is that for a round of 12 here, this is going to go to Game 7. Váli Eclipse, Mafia Vendetta will take it the distance. And now only one game will determine who stays in the final bracket and gets the fight on February 1st in the top 8. Champions Field. Game 7. And we'll see now, does Mafia Vendetta call for the tactical timeout? They have it, they can use it, but they can choose not to in this position. Seems like the answer might be no here. They have not made any comment. I don't think they're going to take their tactical timeout after all. Well, here we go. It's Game 7. And Váli Eclipse, Mafia Vendetta now both have their seasons on the line. Champions Field to determine who gets a top 8 berth. Mafia Vendetta look to get things started. That shot goes wide, though. And an effort, well, a good starting effort, not taken. That first goal is going to matter so much for these teams, especially, you have to think, for Mafia Vendetta. When they score first, boy, they look like a whole different roster. But Mochi will let him! Oh, a bullet to the top right! Pinpoint accuracy, and the Váli Eclipse carries a little bit more. A whole different beast in playoffs, clearly. Mochi putting the team on his back and willing them forward. Now, can he get his team another goal? This will not be enough to win this game. Not with Mafia Vendetta Having shown they will find ways to score even if games haven't looked good for them. For now, Inertia. I think trying to find Zanestar. He's that player that's been good for them all night. Well, that pass will have connected, but not the way he wanted to. Leopard demoed. Here goes Byro. Inertia. 2 go for Mafia Vendetta. Cleared away. Leopard mode is up as well. 2 commit for Váli. Byro will have this one. Sent down to Genie. No shots. Follow. Mochi. 2-0. What a perfect touch for Byro. Zanestar had no options but to expect the play from Genie. It never came. Váli Eclipse. Up 2 goals now in Game 7. And in a game where you must win to keep your playoff hopes going. For Mafia Vendetta, this would be an absolute devastating loss for them. Again, for a team that got second in their group in the regular season, started off so unbelievably well. They were destined to be a front runner. Could that all go away here in the final bracket? And not even on Championship Sunday. Zanestar. Mochi. Inertia. Byro. Up goes Mochi. Leopard mode is ready for it. As Zanestar to clear. Inertia. Genie sends it back. It's Leopard. Mochi cuts off the pass. Mafia Vendetta trying to break their way in, but it's a wall right now set up by Váli Eclipse. Zanestar. Left for Inertia. Mochi. Genie. Zanestar once more. They're playing that back wall right now. Just trying to find any big openings, but Mochi will find an opening of his own. It's 3 goals for Váli Eclipse. And Mochi with all 3 of them. Leopard mode. Zanestar. Played back by Genie. Mochi to the corner. Váli Eclipse in full confidence now. Mafia Vendetta have not gotten started on offense just at all here. And there's only 2 minutes left. Infield. Pinch. Goal. Genie adds another for Váli. Will that be the deadlock on Mafia Vendetta's run? I can't imagine what Mafia Vendetta are thinking, but one thing that they cannot be thinking is that this thing is over just yet. You don't have any more lives. You have to win. You gotta go all in now. And Leopard trying to do just that. It's kept away by Mochi. Wait, what a night he has had so far. Defensively as well as offensively. Now, Genie! Oh, it just gets better. Unfortunately for Leopard mode, I don't see any chance that Mafia Vendetta comes back from this. And it seems very likely that a long-term player who started his ATS career in Season 1 will not find a championship for himself after all. Seems awfully likely that he will not have an ATS championship on his record. Zanestar and Inertia both found their wins this season. But for Leopard, his will be a big what if. And ATS's last season, their last ever Phoenix Cup, Leopard mode may have to watch the top 8 from the sidelines. Inertia with a goal, and likely a consolation goal at that. Váli Eclipse have come into Game 7 and have absolutely wrecked shop. Mochi. Stop by inertia. Ooh, Byro won't hold this one, so room for Mafia as Leopard. Off the wall will be Leopard mode and 2 goals. There is actually a chance here. A slim one at that, but Mafia Vendetta need to work this quick if they're going to have any hope of coming back in this game. Still though, a mountain of them to climb. 3 goals needed in 36 seconds. You need to win these kickoffs or else. Byro bumped. Genie keeps it moving. Leopard mode. We'll have room to work. You'll find Zanestar. This is moving too slowly for Mafia. Leopard is already airborne, but Mochi clears it back. Váli, Eclipse, just keep the ball away. Mochi looking for one more. At the 3 goals that really mattered to Váli Eclipse early in this game. He'll keep it away once more, but it won't matter. It won't make a difference. Váli Eclipse are going to be in the top 8 to take on Boost. For Mafia Vendetta, another season that will end in disappointment. Leopard mode will go through his ATS career, win championship-less. Váli Eclipse will keep their run going, and will have their next match on February 1st against Boost. A 7-game series. Váli Eclipse get the win. And for Midwest Mafia, that'll end their org's run in this bracket. In fact, I believe that'll end their org's run in all brackets. They don't have a team in the Pinnacle Cup this season. Seven-game series, quite the battle, but Váli Eclipse find consistency when they need it. As for Mafia Vendetta, well, I don't know what else to say except they're gonna have to just look back at this season and pull together all the pieces. What a performance tonight. And you have to think for this team that they're ecstatic for, I'm sure, what's to come next. We took a little bit of bracket and how things shape up now. With Mafia Vendetta's elimination, Váli Eclipse now guarantees a spot in the top 8. They'll be playing against Boost in the quarterfinals. Again, that is the first round of matches on Championship Sunday, which again will be February 1st. But for Mafia Vendetta, no wins this season. No championship this season for Leopard. No championship in his ATS career. Now you got a feel for him. It's a tough position to be in, that's for certain. Knowing the kind of pressure he's under. And knowing that he's had such a long career here, but long careers don't guarantee victories, don't guarantee championships. Well, for Váli Eclipse, their run has only started. Reminder, they gotta win 3 more rounds to get that championship, but boy, their group, Group B, is looking to be scary. Now they've guaranteed 2 teams out of Group B in the top 8. Váli Eclipse, Torrent Typhoon, Casey Jakuma, playing against Gryffindor D-Face. They'll guarantee at least 1 more team, so if at least 3 of the 8 teams in the final bracket are going to be from Group B. Torrent Crossfire also have a chance to make it 4 out of 8 teams from Group B if they can win their match against the Whiffers. For now, the Group B and Váli Eclipse proving that even a bad regular season, their regular season was 3-3, it was not a good regular season for them. Even a bad regular season doesn't always mean that your run's over, doesn't always mean that you don't have what it takes. They're proving it here. Playoffs, they've looked like the better team in so many matches. I mean, they went 2-0 through Group B. Definitely proved what they could do there. Now with a win over a Mafia Vendetta team that looked like a front runner at the start of the season. You gotta like what's happening with this team and this Váli Eclipse side. Well, I have definitely been, gotta say it, pretty excited overall with how things have looked. And again, I appreciate all of you for being as supportive as you have been tonight. We're gonna get a raid out. Thank you all so much. Take care. Have a great night. Thank you all so much for joining. Really has been a special, special evening. But for now, we'll see you all again soon with likely more round of 12 action. I'm going to try to cover as many round of 12 matches as I can for all of you. But for now, have a good night. Thank you all so much for joining the Ascent Tournament Series mainstream.